Fish and Chums!
Hi everybody, Gary Heydrich here for this week's Fish and Chums Fishing Report. Here we are in mid-August already. Can you believe this beautiful weather? We're out on Table Rock yesterday when we taped this and just had an unbelievable fishing day for big bluegill. We caught a few bass, we had a big catfish. I tell you what, things are really happening at the rock right now. So we've got a good report on Table Rock, got a pretty good report over on Bull Shoals, and of course Taneycomb is still producing some good rainbow trout. Well, I tell you what, we were out fishing yesterday with a good buddy of mine, two good friends of mine, Barry and Brandon Williams, and we caught 47 fish. 47! And just about a 3 hours span. And we caught these fish on a variety of baits, but the best bait has been just a hook with a split shot up above it about 8 inches, and night crawlers are Gina's Belgian worms. And anywhere from a little bit deeper right now, these bluegill were probably around 25 to 30 feet of water, 31 foot of water. And just get down there and vertically fish them. And if you have a good graph, all you have to do is just go back and forth on these ledges out at Table Rock. Find a hilltop, a long point, and get that graph out there back and forth till you see some action. That's when you want to use your trolling motor and just ease along. Or we anchored yesterday. Put the anchor down and just went tight and vertically fished and caught all kinds of fish. So the bluegill fishing continues to be excellent out at Table Rock. And like I said, Brandon, my buddy, was using 4-pound test line catching bluegill, and he hooked this giant catfish. We'll be talking about that a little bit later on, and we caught a few bass as well. Other than that, on the bluegill fishing, it is excellent. Like I mentioned, good bass fishing, not great bass fishing, but good. You can get out on the long gravel points, and you can use a Ned rig. They've been picking up some fish on just worm fishing, split chops, and also they've been picking up some nice bass on your drop shot type baits too. With brown plastic worms seems to be working. Now in the morning hours they have been going out and using some top water. Top water fishing is getting a little bit better this week at Table Rock, and seems like early in the morning, the first hour and a half of the morning, you can get out there with a whopper plopper. Also pop-Rs have been working, and some junior spooks have been working as well. Now if you want to get out in the midday, I tell you, this bait, we talked about it last week on the program, just a little horsehead bait with just a grub, like a white grub, 4-inch grub, 3-inch grub, and pitch it out up on those long docks, the deep water docks, count it down to about 10 or 12, and then just slow roll this little bait back into the boat. And slow roll it, pause it, slow roll it, you're going to catch some bass. Maybe not big bass, but you are going to catch some bass doing this. Now we've had some reports up the James River arm. Buzz baits have been working up there, and another bait has been working in the James, and that has been the square-billed crankbaits. Good reports, square-billed crankbaits up the James River and throughout the lake, I'm sure. Pitching it up, the key to working this right now is bouncing it off logs, bouncing it off limbs, anything in the water. You're getting a reaction bait when this happens. This bait's going along, you hit a log, and then it will actually bring fish right out of that log or out of that brush, and it will hit this square-billed crankbait. Try it. Okay, let's run over to Bull Shoals right quick. We've had a couple good reports on spoon fishing at Bull Shoals right now for walleye in the mid-lake areas. That lake is still up about 22, 23 feet of water. They're getting over these deep water flats, watching their locators, just watching their locators real careful, seeing some big fish, dropping these spoons down and just flutter spooning. Mid-lake at Bull Shoals. By the way, the bluegill fishing is pretty good at Bull Shoals as well, along the rocky bluffs, the rocky points of the bluffs. And getting back to the bass fishing, they have been picking up some fish on top water early morning there, whopper floppers, pop-Rs, junior spooks. That's another thing. And some plastic worm fishing at Bull Shoals in a deep, heavy cover. Some of the boys are using the big old 9-inch plastic worms, getting back in that tight cover, bouncing it off the limbs, letting it get down and jigging it. So that may work for you. Okay, let's go quickly over to Taneycomo. Same story every week I've been talking about. They've been picking up fish from Cooper Creek down to Monkey Island, all down through past Scotty's, all down around the bridges, and also down around the landing. And that first big bend past the landing, it bends back towards Rockaway Beach. There's been some nice trout caught there. Orange is good on power baits. They've been picking up fish on worms, night crawlers as well, and spoons. Little Cleo spoons, and some Rapalas have been working, crankbait fishing. Well, at Table Rock today when we got out, the water temperature, by the way, getting back to the water temperature, was 80 degrees. So that water temperature has dropped about 10 degrees the last 10 days or so. When we left about 1 o'clock, it jumped up to 82 degrees. And the lake level at Table Rock is just pretty well normal. Come on in, Brandon. My buddy Brandon, I tell you what, he does a lot of work. He does all the editing on the show. My best buddy. I tell you what, we were bluegill fishing. Brandon, tell them how many fish we caught today.
I think it was something like 46, 47. It was a great day out there.
Pulled that fish up. He was bluegill fishing with 4-pound test and hooked this big old catfish.
Yeah, it took me about 20 minutes.
20 minutes. You did a lot of backpedaling on that one, didn't you?
For sure, for sure.
Wow. So, guys, the fishing is good out here at Table Rock, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah.
That's it. And your dad had a great time today. He caught about 15 fish.
Yeah.
Wow. Come on in here, Bear. All right, guys. I want to thank Barry and Brandon for fishing with us today. We had a great time out on the rock. And be sure to like and share and subscribe. It's absolutely free. Just push that little button. And if you have any information you'd like to send, just go email us at fishandchums@gmail.com. Okay, guys. Happy outdoors, everyone.